Hey everyone, just finished writing a blog all about the latest Google core algorithm updates. I'll include a link to that post in the comments below, but wanted to jump on here and do a quick video touching on some of the major themes that I think Google is trying to address with this update. If you know, from what we're seeing and from a lot of the discussions in the SEO and digital marketing community, this algorithm update is pretty big. It seems broad. It seems like it's affecting a lot of sites in a lot of different industries. And I think that's because Google is fundamentally changing how it is really ranking content on websites. If you read Google's press release when it announced the update last week, it really covered two main parts. The first one was this idea of getting rid of low quality search results, which is something Google's doing, constantly and frequently with its algorithm updates. And the second part of the release dealt with spam, and it mentioned a few key areas that Google has identified as spammy, and so Google is going to start taking actions on those things specifically. But I want to jump over to the idea of the content quality and what Google is going to start ranking going forward. So really for the last couple of years and culminating, it seems like this month, Google has been trying to promote as much as it can the idea of creating content that is truly helpful. And in order to do that, Google has basically been doing little mini updates of its algorithm for the last couple of years. And as it's been updating, it's been throwing out this idea in this term called helpful content. And it hasn't really been very specific exactly what it deems to be helpful content. But in its press release with the update this past month, it basically said, hey, we've been fine-tuning our algorithm and trying to train it to understand what we believe is truly helpful content. And now we're going to take all that information that we've gathered over the past couple of years, and we're going to, do this sort of broad sweeping update to our algorithm. And that's why so many websites are being affected, and so many industries are as well. It's not really just about one or two specific things. This is a huge, I think, fundamental categorical shift in SEO. So what is helpful content? I think it's going to be something we're going to discover and learn a lot more about over the coming months and years. But we know a lot more about what Google determines to be unhelpful content. And that is content that is written and created solely for the purpose of ranking on SEO. And to be honest, Google does a pretty good job with its search results of showing great quality content, but a lot of people have learned how to game the system. And with the rise of content tools and automation, more and more people are able to pump out content that is really low quality. It kind of verges on almost spammy, and they've done it in such a way that they can rank their content and drive some clicks and get traffic at the expense of really a good search experience. And Google is learning about that, and it is going to try its best to now get rid of all of that, SEO first content. So in order for content to be helpful, something just to keep in mind, it really has to be authoritative. It should be written well. It should be written from an original, unique perspective. It shouldn't just grab information that's already out there and just copy and paste stuff from other websites and then try to rank something, at the top. It really needs to be high quality, original stuff in order for Google to rank it going forward. And so I think that's going to mean a fundamental shift in the type of content that is written, and really even the types of websites that might be able to see long-term SEO success. So we'll learn a lot more about what helpful content really is, and we'll have a stronger definition of it, over the next few months and years. But that is a fundamental shift in SEO, is this idea of Google really cracking down and ranking content that it deems to be helpful. So the second part dealt with spam. And this was an interesting thing to me because Google doesn't always go so much into detail about what exactly it sees as spam, or it really doesn't even give that many notes when it announces most algorithm updates. But this one was a little different. It actually identified three key areas that it says, hey, we've identified and we think these three things are spam. We've seen it time and time again. And so we're going to get rid of them. We're going to completely wipe away websites that do this from our index. So those three things are really like auto-generated, mass-produced content. They are spamming your domain authority with irrelevant content, and they are expired domains. So I won't go too much in depth because I talk about this a lot in the blog and I break down what each of these are. But these three things are really old school SEO hacks, things that people have learned to do, and even legitimate big websites and big businesses have been engaging in for quite a while, unfortunately. Well, like I said, Google has picked up on it. It's identified what it is, and it's given a couple of months for webmasters to get their game together, if you will. And look, if you're doing this stuff and you're spamming the algorithm, you're creating super low irrelevant content, and you're abusing expired domains and all this other stuff that I mentioned in the blog, you're going to get dinged really hard. Google's very aggressively come down on this. They've been very clear that these spammy practices are no longer going to be allowed. And so that is going to fundamentally, change and become a core 100% permanent part of the algorithm. You cannot do these things anymore. The last thing I want to talk about is AI content. I've seen a lot of people in the SEO community, the marketing, and everywhere talk about that this is like Google coming down on AI content. It's not exactly that simple. So Google has really remained neutral on AI content. It doesn't say it's in favor of it. It probably doesn't like it a ton, but what it does say is any content that is, again, written or created solely with the purpose of ranking or getting, keywords in SEO, it's not going to like that. So we kind of read between the lines. A lot of people that write AI content and post it on their website, it's done to try and manipulate the search results. It's done to try to get keyword rankings. There's a few tools out there that you can use that, anyways, I won't go into that. But I don't think that this is Google saying, hey, if you write anything using AI or you use AI to, edit a piece of content or to outline a piece of content, that we're never going to rank it. We're never going to like it. I don't think that's what Google's trying to say. So I don't think this update specifically deals with just anyone who's using AI content. I do think, however, again, if we read between the lines, if you or a website you work on is using AI and basically just, copying and pasting stuff from the internet and from AI writers in the hopes of trying to get SEO traffic, chances are you're going to get dinged. If not now, then pretty soon. So that's my 2 cents. Again, pretty major algorithm update. Read the blog that I'll link below because it goes into this a bit more in depth. Thanks, guys.